Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. This is your weekly WWE Monday Night Raw and a weekly WWE SmackDown Live review. Put in the comments, was this show a win, loss, or tie? I'm LK from KocoSports. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Sammy Sinister. Partner, how are you doing this evening?
Been a pretty good day down here in the dirty South. How about you?
Dude, this is so different, okay? In America, it's the dirty South. In England, the South is very sophisticated. Us English South Coastmen are very well respected in the world. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And I actually did enjoy SmackDown a lot. So win, loss, or tie, we'll go Raw first, and then we'll do SmackDown after. So Raw, I give... I'm going to give it a weak... Nah, fuck it, loss. It was shit. It sucked.
Wasn't very good. I'll give it a weak tie. If it tells you anything, like, again, I started watching it, and I believe me and LK both fell asleep watching it. Which, LK's defense, it was that it was late. My defense, I'd worked 13 hours. But at the same time, you should still be able to keep me interested, and they didn't.
Right, the way I saw this was, okay, we're at exactly the same time now. We're an hour earlier. If this was last night, I was already in bed. Because I fell asleep in this very chair. It's a very comfy chair. And I was lying there with Cesaro, Sheamus, and I just kept nodding and nodding. Next thing I know, I wake up like, fuck, there's a golf commercial. I'm out, shutting that lid of the laptop. I'm upstairs. I ain't taking any golf commercials. Jesus Christ. I mean, Raw's depressing, but that's a different level. So I have about 18 pages of notes to get through. So we'll break down the shows, and then everyone who's listening live, put in the comments, win, loss, or tie, and what you thought of the show. So Raw was from Baltimore. This is last night's Raw. Starts off with Mick Foley. He's in the ring. Foley brings up Charlotte. Cole calls her the Raw's Women's Champion. I'm guessing this is what we're going by now. We have a SmackDown Women's Champion as a Raw one. I don't know if they're doing it for the tag belts either, but you know what? Sometimes I just let them go with it. I don't care, to be perfectly honest. Little things like that, like when I'm watching it live, I'm like, oh my God, why did they do that? Now I'm thinking about it. I don't care. Like, I really don't give a rat's ass. Foley brings up the Clash of the Champions. Sasha comes out. Decent pop. Really is decent considering how much I get on women's wrestling. Bayley, she comes out. She brings up the fact she beat Charlotte last week and she does a championship match. Sasha Banks tells her to get to the back of the line. Dana then stands in and says, maybe I should have a match. She gets slapped. And then that's about it. Dana slaps Charlotte. I got my notes wrong here. I'm not fucking tired. Dana slaps Charlotte and then Freddie makes a triple threat. Correct. Yeah, I did get that right. Okay, I'm just checking because I just came off SmackDown Live, so SmackDown's in my mind, and I actually want to remember SmackDown. I don't want to remember this.
I don't blame you. There's just not a whole lot there.
It was 15 minutes, and I was surprised the women started. Like, I'm not used to women starting the show. I'm not angry about that. Sasha, it's Charlotte, it's Bayley. I'll take that. And Dana Brooke, the fact she's employed is bad enough. The fact she's in the mix with Sasha Banks and Bayley is kind of offensive to me. I take a bit of offense to that, but I liked it. They're teasing this babyface, and they tease the babyface turn every single week. And the more they do it, the more lesser people are going to care when it eventually happens. So I think they need to just chill out on that. Just have her be a full, just dirty, blooded animal heel for a while. I mean, look at her. She's a machine. She's a monster. Mm-hmm. Like, she's a genuine tanky woman. All due respect, didn't mean that in a disrespectful way. She is generally a tanky woman. So have her go out there, have her beat up the little Sasha Banks, have her beat up Bayley. It's just simple. It's not difficult. They're doing it with Nia Jax very well. That's one thing I did like about this show was Nia Jax, surprisingly, because she's not like most girls. But as a whole, I didn't mind this opening segment. Why am I being generous? Okay, this sucked. Okay, I'm enough of this.
I didn't hate it. I actually liked this match. It was one of the better parts of the show. So if you want to call it shit for that regard, I totally wouldn't blame you. But this match wasn't bad. It actually wasn't bad. I didn't dread seeing Dana in there. She held her own for the most part. But the stars were obviously the two other women. They did the majority of the work in this match. From the promo to the match, though, how they led from one to the other was extremely clunky.
Yeah, I agree.
It didn't make any sense.
I agree. My mind was, okay, we have Dana Brooke in there because someone's got to take the fall. You want to protect these two. But at the end of the match, you had Sasha Banks roll up Bayley. Both shoulders looked down, but maybe they're going to use that next week. Maybe actually, no, they don't pay that much attention to detail. But Sasha won by roll up on Bayley. So why couldn't you have just done Sasha versus Bayley? Okay, they might be wanting to save that, but if they're going to throw him in the ring anyway, why don't you just not bother putting Dana Brooke in there? Because she added nothing. Nothing.
No. I don't know. Or if you're going to put Dana Brooke in there, throw another throwaway in there, make it a fatal four-way, and then have that fourth person be who Dana beats up on. And maybe, I don't know. There was other ways of doing this. I had some issues with this match, but all in all, like, the actual work within the match wasn't bad.
No, I agree. Well, I mean, I've seen worse women's wrestling. It wasn't too bad. Just when Bayley and Sasha are in there, my standards and what I'm expecting is a lot different to what I get on Raw. And it's so different. The thing is, they're wrestling exactly the same style. Everything is exactly the same. Even Corey Graves, the exact same NXT commentators there. Just when I watch them on Raw, I don't care. When they're on NXT, I want to buy a ticket to see these women wrestle. What is the difference? Is it the way they're presented, promoted, or not really promoted?
I think it is. I think it's absolutely how they're presented and promoted. They're still considered the sideshow to the main event. Like, okay, the guys are going to wrestle, but here's something for y'all to do. I got really unfocused for a second there. And they didn't treat them like that on NXT. Like, there was 2 main events, and one of those main events was always a ladies match. And half the time it stole the damn show. So it's all about presentation. It doesn't work on Raw.
I'll be honest. Right, so we've watched SmackDown. We've both watched SmackDown. We both watched Raw.
Yes.
We had a triple threat women's match from Raw, and we just had the 5-way women's match on SmackDown. Out of the 2, so we go Raw's women division versus SmackDown's women division. Right now, judging by these 2 shows, what match do you think was better? Do you think the SmackDown one was better, or do you think the Raw one was better?
What match do I think is better, or what roster do I think is better?
Oh, no, match. Because if you go by roster, Raw wins by a landslide, but I mean the actual matches themselves.
Man, I don't know. They're about even for me. I wasn't crazy about the SmackDown match, but I liked the finish. But I think just if you're going from a strictly technical standpoint, Raw was better. If you're going from promoting their wrestlers to a storytelling standpoint, I think SmackDown was the better one.
That's interesting. I just think SmackDown was just, I thought it was better. I actually enjoyed that a lot more. I was just, maybe I wasn't as tired, so I actually cared, whereas this I kind of didn't. I just think that we're seeing the same thing every single week with Raw. Like, we're seeing the same Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. We're seeing the same Bayley versus Charlotte. And then Dana Brooke's always in there with these 2. It's always the same people. Whereas SmackDown, you got 6 completely new people who in the past haven't actually faced each other a great deal, minus Natalya and Becky Lynch. So it's kind of like a bit fresh and a bit new.
Yeah, I mean, if you take it, like, yeah, as far as pure talent, Raw has the better roster. But if you want to go by who's doing a better job with their roster, I think SmackDown with their ladies is way better right now. So Raw really needs to pick it up.
I mean, we could give these Raw wrestlers a bit of benefit of the doubt because they just came off like a 6-day world tour. So, I mean, they were in London. They
3 continents in 4 days or something like that.
Yeah. So they were literally just got off the flight. So maybe we can give these people a bit of slack, but nah, fuck it. They're on international television. They deserve to be ridiculed for it. We'll move on. Jesus, there's us saying let's get through this quick. We've already been 10 minutes and talked about absolutely nothing. We had a backstage segment where Dana Brooke apologizes to Charlotte, and then Charlotte just makes her grab her backs. Tom Phillips then interviews Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens claims he will beat Reigns tonight. Jericho then announces Sami Zayn for the highlight reel. This is what WWE calls promotion for a segment. That's literally what they call a promotion for a segment. Hey, we'll just say it on an interview, and then that's promoting it. Like, there was no promoting the Jericho highlight reel. There's no presenting of the Reigns Owens. Like, there was none of it. There was no promoting it at all. It was just, when I mean promoting, I mean like storytelling, storylines, like, you know, throughout the show, threads to keep you interested. And this is what WWE do, and they're so bad for this. They'll say, okay, look, after every match, it'll pop up Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns tonight. It goes Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns tonight. Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns tonight. You can do that all you want, but if there's not a reason to care for that match, if there wasn't Kevin Owens attacking Reigns backstage, or wasn't Kevin Owens calling Reigns out at the start of the show, Kevin Owens or Roman Reigns at the start of the show saying, why wait till the main event? Kevin Owens, I want you now. Things like that. They don't do that anymore. It's just, hey, look, here's a match. You're going to stay and watch it. Newsflash, Raw got an absolute shit TV rating. People went, no, I'm not staying and watching this. I'm not going. Because you ain't giving me a reason to stay. You know, not a lot of people go, oh, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, I've got to watch that because it'll be a great wrestling match. Most people just go, fuck that. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to see that because I don't care. You can show Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns nameplate and template 15,000 times in the show, but if you do not give me a reason to care, I will not care.
And I think that's the biggest problem with WWE for the last decade and a half. But I think some of it might be some weird conspiracy at this point in time, because when they do it, it seems like they do it so well. And I don't know if it's that they're doing it that well or just we're deprived of it. And because there was a time and place there where NXT was garbage and we were being really hard on NXT, and WWE was being, or the main roster was being the way better product because they were doing better storytelling, and now it's kind of went back to the same old. So, and I'm right there with you. If you don't give me a reason to care, which I guess what they were trying to say with this is if Roman wins, he's going to be in the main event as a triple threat versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but just saying that alone is not enough. I want to see, Reigns backstage promo, Reigns saying, look, I'm going to that ring and I'm calling that bastard out now. I want him right now. Why do I have to wait 3 hours? No, I'm in my gear now. Let's go out there. Let's do this. Have him go out there. Have Owens come out, look like they're going to fight, but then back off saying, no, I'm the main event and you wrestle when I say we wrestle. Heat on Owens, sympathy for Reigns. And then you've got a reason to get, hey, look, I now want to see these guys fight. They were that close from fighting. Now I'm going to stick around to see them fight.
Not enough cutting promos on each other. They're just cutting promos on air in the back. And I think that's an issue. And especially someone like Owens, who is so damn good on the mic, you're kind of taking his legs out from underneath him by doing that. But no, I'm right there with you. That would have been a great idea. Or just hell, make Reigns have to earn the fight instead of just having it given to him, which is my biggest problem with wrestling across the board outside of a couple promotions. This is everything. Nobody earns a title shot at shit or earns a shot at anything. They just go, here you go. You get to try and do this now. Here you go. You can fucking go for our belt. That pisses me off. People have to earn that shit. Like, I understand it's predetermined, but make it look to me as if they're genuinely having to go through a struggle to earn it. So when they do earn it, win-loss, it's still a bigger deal.
Simple. It's not rocket science. You'd have to be a brain surgeon to figure this out. It's really simple, but we can go on and on about this. They're never going to change. They're never going to change. They're never, ever going to change. We'll move on. Bo Dallas versus Brandon Scott. And this is how bad this was, okay? This is how bad. I'm English, okay? American football, I have no idea. But this match was this boring. I turned over and the score was Pittsburgh 14, Washington 6 at this point in time. Okay, I was learning the NFL game. I was learning American football during this Raw. So if anyone says wrestling isn't educational, watch Raw every Monday. You'll learn whatever's on Sky Sports 4, 3, 2, or 1. I was learning American football. So Raw might be the reason I become a big NFL fan. I still got to support a team.
I have nothing to say. Like, this literally just happened, and I was like, all right. Oh, moving on.
I'm not going to talk about the match because the match doesn't deserve to be talked about, nor does Bo Dallas. He gets drunk at an airport, gets rewarded, but that's a different topic for a different time. The crowd chanting, "Let's go, Jobber." Okay, when I say jobber a lot in my normal day life, like if I don't like something, I'll go, oi, jobber. Or if I don't like someone at work, I'll go, jobber, pass me that. They don't really know what it means. They kind of don't take offense to it. So if there's someone I don't like, I'll call them jobber. They don't realize it. It's just, it's a little inside thing, and I find it funny. I chuckle to myself. But when on this show have you ever heard any one of us say the word jobber? I find, and for a crowd to shout at that guy, that was that guy's moment. He probably waited his whole entire life, and he may not get another shot at this. That guy, Brandon Scott, whoever he is, that might have been his one and only chance and one and only time in the WWE ring. And these guys wanted to get themselves over by saying, wouldn't it be funny if we shouted, let's go jobber, let's go jobber, let's get ourselves over. That's so funny, isn't it? Oh my God, the internet's going to be talking about us. Oh my God, we're so funny. That's so disrespectful. And shame on anyone who joined in on that chant.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. I'm going to play devil's advocate, though, because, and this bleeds right into SmackDown, because he became such a darling on the internet overnight. James Ellsworth was on several podcasts, and he was talking to Jericho on his podcast, and Jericho was full on out. It's like, be honest with me. When they say jobber, or they say squash match, do you take offense to that? You're like, absolutely not. I know why I'm there. I know exactly what that title is. I got over because they liked it and they liked me. I know I'm a jobber. If some people might take offense to it, some people might take offense to the term enhancement talent, but that's them. It doesn't bother me. So I think it's on a wrestler. I totally get what you're saying, and I think some of it, some folks might find it completely disrespectful as a wrestler, and others, I think, understand their plot, like their spot where they are. So it's a double-edged sword for me.
That's fair enough. That's a respectable point. I just hate people in general. So any chance to bash people, I'll be up for that. But then we have the highlight reel of Jericho. He comes out, the guest, Sami Zayn. Jericho blames Zayn for ruining the friendship that Zayn and Kevin Owens had, even though it was clearly documented on international TV that Kevin Owens was the one who destroyed. But anyway, that's a different story. Zayn calls him a stupid idiot. Jericho says Zayn's jealous of Kevin Owens. Zayn calls Jericho a legend, pretty much kissing his ass, but says now he's nothing more than Kevin Owens' bitch. Jericho says, hey, look, do you want to see Kevin Owens' new number? And then just smashes the phone on him and hit the code breaker. Leads to a Clash of Champions match between Jericho and Zayn. You know what, gives both men something to do. Hopefully there's something on the line, whether it being a future US Championship match or a future World Championship match the next night on Raw, or just something on the line instead of we're having a match because I hit a phone over you.
What I'm wondering, and that was the biggest problem with this match, like literally, this segment existed just to force a match. There was no storytelling in here. The second they said Sami Zayn's going to be on the highlight reel, everybody knew there was going to be a match. And I don't know why they're fumbling so hard with Sami Zayn's story, but they are. And I'm wondering at this point, if they're going to keep the strap on Kevin Owens for a really long time and build up to the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens WrestleMania match, which would be like tear-inducing. But this match isn't how you get there to me. Like, I love Sami Zayn, I love Chris Jericho, and they're probably going to have a fantastic match. But it just, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this. I hope like you said, I hope it's not just we need to fill time on our 3-hour show.
Sadly, though, that's what I think it'll be in it.
Same.
Every pay-per-view has one. The Backlash show had Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt. This next show will have Jericho and Zayn. But I didn't mind the segment. I was starting to. It was not a bad segment. I was starting to nod off a little bit, but it wasn't a bad. No complaints. Match 5 in the best of 7 series. I really enjoyed. I watched the whole match back over when I woke up this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the match was really good. I thought Cesaro's selling on the back was really good when he went for the crossbody off the top and then held his back as he was going down. I think he did a really good job there. Cesaro getting the win, though, by a roll-up and having his feet on the ropes. I do not like babyfaces cheating to win.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Your babyface has to win through perseverance and some form of feat of strength or will or perseverance or tenacity or stamina. He's got to win through some positive attribute. He cannot cheat to win. Which, unless they're trying to do a double turn out of this, which I absolutely do not see, what's the point of these series of matches beyond whoever wins? These matches have all been really good, but what the fuck's the point in winning? Just to say, oh, okay, I beat so-and-so this many times. There's nothing on the line.
This one is the winner gets a future championship opportunity.
I do not remember that at all. Did they say a long time ago? Yeah, I full on missed that then.
It just said for a future championship opportunity. So I'm guessing, depending on how over this series gets, will depend on what championship it goes for.
I stand corrected. I thought it was just there.
I don't. Oh no, I would have gone batshit crazy if it was just a best of 7 for the sake of best of 7. You can't do that. That should never happen. But I just they could have done, because they did the O'Connor roll. They could have done the O'Connor roll where Sheamus has Cesaro and he's like pulling his tights, and then have Cesaro roll through and say, "Hey, look, he just cheated. Fuck you, I'm using the ropes." But it wasn't. It was just a roll up out of nowhere, and he cheated. He blatantly cheated.
Mm-hmm.
And the commentators, okay, whenever a heel cheats, they ignore it. They always ignore it. When a babyface cheats, they point it out. Corey Graves pointed it out. And I'm just there like, oh my god, you imbeciles! Like, I can't take this shit. Like, why did I just suffer through this from Sunday to Tuesday? I've suffered through 8 hours of WWE, and how much of this have I enjoyed? I'd say about 4 hours. It's so depressing, and so much was wrong with Raw. I'm actually sitting back and thinking, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, it's just upsetting. Like, little things like that. Just, having a babyface cheat right on cam, having commentators point it out when they never ever bring it up when a heel does it, just destroys the point of cheating in the first place.
Yeah.
It just, if you, we go to a backstage with Rollins.
Just real quick, and then we'll move on. You could have even done it and still made him look like a babyface if your commentary had said, "Oh my God, look, he cheated. Look how much this must mean to Cesaro that he thinks he needs to win that much, that he's willing to put his integrity on the line to get this W."
Yes. Yeah, simple. It's so simple. The things they do wrong, I don't think they know they're doing it wrong. I think they think they're doing really good, which pisses me off even more. But we have backstage, you have Rollins. He's annoyed with Foley because Roman's being given a chance for no reason, so Rollins is the man here, making some sense. It's simple. I didn't mind it. That's as good as we're going to get, as in building towards Reigns and Rollins and Owens. That's as good as we got. Go on.
No, it's just real quick, just comparing the two shows on paper. I know we haven't got to SmackDown yet, but as far as who's doing better with their GM role, I think Foley has been so much better at that role, and I think he is legitimately taking it serious. Like, it's cool to see it's cool to see Daniel Bryan come out, and he gets a big pop, and people are happy to see them. But after several weeks, when Foley comes out, I feel like he's got business he needs to take care of. I think he's been way better in this position.
I do agree. I prefer Foley over Bryan, but I prefer Shane over Stephanie. I love Shane. I absolutely adore Shane. Now, I thought I'd be bored of him by now when he came back, and then he was announced as the commissioner of SmackDown Live. I thought I'm going to be bored of him, but I'm not. I actually really enjoy him still. We had Nia Jax squashing Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox getting squashed, destroyed. Hopefully I never have to see her again on my TV screen.
It was brutal.
Yeah, I enjoyed that spear, and that the hair pulling into the barricade was pretty nice. I just thinking, where are we going to go from here? Because if this is storyline wise, if this was any other company writing this sets up a Alicia Fox comeback story against Nia Jax. If this was storytelling 101, this would set up for a Nia Jax Alicia Fox rivalry. Are they going to move Nia Jax up from this? Is the thing is, what now that they've made that jump from Nia Jax defeating the enhancement, or jobbers as this imbecilic crowd likes to call it, she's made that jump to Alicia Fox now, and she's not too much higher. But does she now move up to the Baileys, or does she go back to having the enhancement talent if Alicia Fox is playing this injury angle up? I don't know what they're going to do with her next week, or are they just going to keep her off TV? I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, the only option is you could put her against maybe 2 or 3 enhancement ladies. That could be an option.
Yeah, put her against 2, and if she beats them, put her against 3, and if she beats all 3, you were finally going, okay, like, these are jobbers, and like your smart girl's going to be like, whatever, but realistically, you go, God damn, that's 3 people at once. Because here's the thing that we have to do that's really difficult for a lot of fans that I can do when I'm watching wrestling. I can turn off the part of me that knows all this background shit about wrestling. Like, I can completely take all that vocabulary out of me and watch it as if I was an 8-year-old watching it. And not to say that I don't, because obviously we've done the show long enough. I know pretty good of what's going on, and I think a lot of people can't do that. And so even if they were to do 2, even though I'm for this, if they did 2-on-1, 3-on-1, fucking 4-on-1 against her, you're smart. I don't want to use the word smart, but I really can't think of anything better right now. You're really smart people are going to be like, that's just dumb. Like, no, you have to watch it as if it were real. Otherwise, you're kind of ruining a lot of what the show is, to me.
See, I thought I would be able to do that exact thing. And I put it to the test when about 6-7 months ago, I first showed my girlfriend wrestling. I finally had the courage. Hey, look, sit down. She's watched every network pay-per-view event minus last Sunday's Backlash, but because why would I make her watch that? The ones before, And when I'm watching it with her, I'm actually talking to her like not as if like an 8-year-old. I'm talking to her as if she's a hardcore wrestling fan. She's like, "What are you on about?" And it's just like little things like, I'll say, "Oh, why isn't he selling the back?" And it's like, "What do you mean selling?" And it's like I forget, and then because of that, I explain it to her, which means I'm then turning her into what I am, and that's an imbecile Nimrod. So I what I should do is if I'm with her and then say, look, if like it is actually real, hopefully it might enhance my enjoyment because I've told her like AJ should beat Cena because AJ's the better worker. Like when she picks her favorites, she automatically hated Reigns, not because of the fact that Reigns sucks and he's awful, but because of my pure like when she says. Like, I remember Extreme Rules was one of the first proper ones we watched. And I ran down and I said, Reigns cannot win. I hate Reigns. Like, I'm literally telling her, which means, in theory, she likes the people I like, which means she likes the great wrestlers. So if I do that to every one of my friends and my younger brother, if I do that to everyone, that's how this has happened. That's how wrestling these days does not have a casual audience because the hardcore fans are telling the casual fans, hey, look, you can't like him. You shouldn't like him. It's frowned upon if you like him. That's why no one cheers for Reigns, okay? Because even your casual fans are being told it's frowned upon.
Yeah, and you were 100% correct about that, and I completely agree with you. But I really have a huge problem with that. That really, really bothers me. Like, my son really, really likes John Cena. Mind you, he's 4, so it would be a real dick move of me to be like, you cannot pull for him because he sucks. But I don't take that magic away from him. And if I were to bring a fully brand new, doesn't know anything about wrestling person into my house, which I've done several times, I present it to them at its base level, and they're like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "This is so and so. They do this. They're probably going to do this. Here's where the story's probably going to go from here. You do whatever it is that you enjoy." I've had people come over and they're like, "Oh, I really like." There are some people that are naturally going to be pulled towards, like your Cenas or your AJs or this, that, and another. And I think that's kind of a boo-boo on a lot of us as wrestling fans that to take that magic away from people. And it's hard to do. It's hard to shut that off in us. So it's something I think collectively as fans and as people that are on the internet, we need to try and suppress on people that want to be new to the business. Let them enjoy that magic and progressively themselves discover this deeper, much more complex world than what it's presented. I kind of boo-boo, and I'm throwing myself in there too because I've been guilty of it. I'm going to boo-boo all of us. So let's all make a collective effort to not fucking try and ruin this for so many people and spoil it.
I do this with every single member of my family. Like, if any of them are seen as not that bad, it will be boom. Like, no, you cannot. Like, I'm really bad at that. Like, there's this guy at work who has a John Cena shirt, and I rip him for it. Like, how can you like? Another thing that I find like awful about myself, and it is really one of my biggest pet peeves, is what at work, obviously, casual people, just watch WWE, and I get really angry at people at work who don't watch anything else, and the excuse is I don't have the time. That really grinds my gears more than anything else on this planet. You don't have time. I'm working the exact same schedule as you. So why can't you watch exactly the same as I do? Oh, but you're an idiot for staying up that. No, I choose to because I love this. Do you love it? Yeah, I love WWE. Well, why don't you try something else? And it's so difficult. I would make a deal with people. I wouldn't persuade new fans to choose AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, choose these people if they chose to watch other stuff as well. Literally, I'm not even joking. My girlfriend's watched more different alternatives, and she's watched wrestling about 50 times even. She's watched more different types of wrestling than 8/10 of the people on the planet. Because she's just there behind with me, and she's glanced over. And it baffles my mind why people just have to watch WWE. Like, right now, I am watching WWE because of this. Okay, if it wasn't, I wouldn't have watched Raw last night. I watched SmackDown, okay? I like SmackDown, I'll be honest. I love SmackDown. If loving SmackDown's wrong, I don't want to be right. But I wouldn't watch Raw on a weekly basis. That's why some weeks I don't do a Raw review, because I just, quite frankly, refuse to watch it. But I watch Raw because of this. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't watch Raw. Half the time, I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't even watch NXT. I don't think NXT is that great on a week-to-week basis. But I can't grasp my head around it, how people can just be WWE fans.
it's a monopoly, especially over here in the States. It's very much a monopoly. Like, yeah, there's some other really big promotions that are doing great work, and it's the best time to ever be a wrestling fan in this world because there's so many different options where you actually have good and easy access to it. But because the way Vince built his company with my generation and the generation before me, people genuinely think that's all there is. And that's both really, really good on their behalf because their marketing has been that good and that flawless. So I can commend them for that, but it's bad for your other promotions. So, I mean, I can see where people I really like wrestling. And I've gotten out of the habit of going, what do you watch? Because I just assume they watch WWE. And they ask me, I'm like, well, I watch WWE, but I also like to watch, promotion ABC. Well, what's that? Oh, it comes on this channel. What about it? I'm like, okay, why don't you go online, check it out, and let me know what you think. And especially people down here in the South, because we have such a wrestling tradition down here. Really hard for them to get into different promotions. And I think for Western audiences in general, it's really hard to get into New Japan because it's such a different feel if you're not a hardcore fan. So I think that's it. A lot of people just, when they think wrestling, they think WWE, and that's all they know. And that's not really their fault. That's just the monster and genius that is WWE.
Yeah, and I guess it doesn't help that they slander and slaughter every other company pretty much on air like they did AJ Styles. Oh, it means what he's done has meant nothing until now. This is his career moment. And yeah, I can see that. It's just everyone has their downfall as a wrestling fan. My downfall is angry at other fans for not watching alternatives and B, not allowing people that I know who haven't watched wrestling before, when they do start, when I do get them into it, I don't let them enjoy that, like you said, quote unquote, magic of, oh, okay, I'm now learning who I like. Mm-hmm. You go through stages of who you like, and then finally it clicks, and you're like, oh shit, he sucks. And then you have that unalterated hatred for the man. I don't know. It's just like if I see if I'm walking in the street and a Cena fan is you see a Cena shirt, no matter how many people there, your eyes find that Cena shirt, and it's just like, oh, what's that? Reigns. It's just a habit. We've gone off track. We still got so we haven't even covered SmackDown yet. We're at 41 minutes in.
We'll move it along.
Unbelievable. New Day come out. Big E's giving away Bootios using his shoes. I don't know if that was a backstage rib or something. That must have been, because I didn't understand why. Yeah. They say no one ever has to watch Anderson and Gallows' old day segment ever again. And they just carried on taking the piss out of the segment last week. I thought that was funny. Anderson and the Gallows came out. They cut a promo. It sucked, okay? I love these guys.
Very good. And I expect more out of them.
I love these guys. I thought their doctor stuff was amusing. Their old day shit last week was a joke.
That was terrible.
Why right? So this is my logic. Okay, looking at this from a non hardcore fans point of view here. New Day, Anderson and Gallows. You were told that next Sunday, if you pay on the WWE Network, you can watch these guys wrestle for the tag team championships. You're now sat there thinking, why should I pay? I'm watching the match now. I don't have to pay for it. I'm watching it now.
Fucking hate when they do that. I absolutely hate when they do this. And the defense is, oh, well, something's on the line. Well, why isn't it on the line tonight? Why shouldn't it have been on the line tonight? Because you'd have fucking new tag team champions right now.
The match itself wasn't bad. There was nothing wrong with it. I was just too pissed off for the fact that it was happening. You could have just done Kofi versus Anderson, next week done Doc versus Big E, and then at the pay-per-view you had them two clash. Yeah,
boom, settled. Fucking good to go. I hate when they fucking do this. And by the way, just real quick before we move on, I think Machine Gun Carl Anderson is maybe the greatest seller going right now. That fucker will sell his ass off and make you look like $1 million.
He's good. I'm not a fan of. I'll tolerate Gallows because he's with Anderson. If it was a singles run, it'll be a different story. But he Anderson hides Gallows' weaknesses very well. Jinder Mahal came out. He cut a promo saying he's found inner peace. Swagger comes out.
Stupid as shit.
Mahal hits a neck breaker to get the win. No more talking about that next. Swagger's backstage. Tom Phillips comes up to him and says, "It's no secret your contract expires soon." Swagger stares at him like he's an idiot and walks off. So, oh god, Epico and Primo. Epico defeated Enzo. Well, I don't want to talk about it because I'll get in trouble. Do you have anything to talk about when it comes to Enzo versus Epico? Because
the Shining Stars are terrible. They're terrible. How you go from where they were, where you had fucking Big Cass in a title contendership, and Enzo's doing great, and he's still doing great stuff on the mic, but he's doing this on another two. They're feuding with the Shining Stars. My guess is that the theory is that this will bring the Shining Stars up, but it's not. It's bringing Enzo and Cass down to their level, so they're shooting themselves in the foot. That's all I gotta say. Let's fucking keep this train rolling.
There was more build to this, as in backstage segment-wise. There was more build to this with the backstage segment they were trying to hand flyers out. There was more build for that than there was for the main event with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns.
It's fucking stupid. Whatever, man. I hate this shit. I hate them. I absolutely cannot stand Epico and Primo.
Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. Okay, everyone knows if as we were told 18,000 times during the show, if Reigns wins, it's a triple threat. Reigns does the thing that Cena does, is when he goes to take the still steps, he pushes the steps.
Yeah.
And it looks atrocious. I really am not a fan of that. Rollins comes out, he texts Kevin Owens, DQ. Kevin Owens wins by DQ. Foley comes out.
I'm going to pause you for just a sec because I had to TiVo this. So the last 10 minutes, I've completely missed. The last thing I saw was Foley restarting the match. So I do not know what happened after that.
Okay, well, the match is restarted. Obviously, Foley goes a bit mad, cuts a really good promo. I like that.
Really good promo.
Reigns ate the steps one more time, really pissing me off, just to, add insult to injury. Owens hit his swinging fisherman buster off the top. Frog splash off the top for 2. Crowd really split loud, and this is the only time of the night where they're actually really loud. It was Let's Go Roman, Fight Owens Fight. Reigns hits the Superman punch for 2 and a great near fall. Like literally everyone in the first, when you look at it in the first 10 rows and the seats, they're all stood up. They all stand up. It was really good. Getting into it helps when I find it helps when the crowd get into it. Rusev then popped up onto the apron. It distracts Reigns. Owens then hits a super kick and a pop-up powerbomb to get the win. And then Rusev comes in. He super kicks Reigns and applies the accolade as the show goes off the air. So I'll make it a weak tie because I enjoyed the main event. I thought that the Rollins coming out helped his babyface character. I thought Owens, still getting the win helped him. The fact Reigns isn't in the main event of the pay-per-view helps me a lot. Reigns and Rusev, I don't care about it, but as long as Reigns isn't with the main championship, I'll tolerate it.
And that's where I'm at with Reigns, because I don't hate on Reigns like a lot of other people. It's the reason I'm not happy with him right now, and he's coming off of that, is that, again, he was just put in a situation where he didn't need to be. I have never thought that he was a bad worker, and hell, even I guess on his last interview he did on a podcast, Finn Balor put over Roman Reigns hard. And this wasn't like a WWE podcast. I forget which one it was. I'd have to go find it. But he put him over hard. And there's a bunch of the people that are like, yeah, the kid's really good. He just didn't need to be where he was. So if he's going for another belt, I'm completely cool with that. Let's just keep him out of the title picture for a while.
If they didn't, I agree. And they didn't need Roman Reigns here in this match at all. This match didn't need to take place. If Reigns was just doing his own thing with the US Championship, good for him. I just don't like it when he always has to be the main event. He always has to be the center of attention. He always has to be at the end of the show. He always has to be with the main event, as always.
Yeah. Honestly, I think a heel run with the U.S. title would do wonders for his career. Wonders.
I do agree. He definitely needs that. We'll get to some, as we finish Raw, we'll just see if there's any live comments before we get to breaking down SmackDown. Dude, I can't believe we've been this long already. We're like, okay, this won't be too long. Unbelievable. Right, so we only have one live comment, but lots of live viewers. But anyway, so we have SmackDown was, well, I don't want to say what it was. That's from Crazy J-Ray. What does that mean? Does that mean it was awesome and you don't want to say it, or that it sucked and you hated every single second of it?
Clarify that for us, please.
Please, Crazy Jerry. You left. I won't be able to sleep at night if I don't find out what all that's all about. I need to find. I don't know if you enjoyed it or not. Right. Well, now that transition's beautiful. SmackDown review.
You're gonna make LK all morose. What are you gonna do?
You can sleep when you die. I live by Vince's motto there. That is true. I give this show a win. yourself?
It's either going to be a strong tie or a weak win. So I think I'll go weak win because when I first came down here to talk to you, I was like, it's a top, flat top, that's it. The more we talked about it and we thought, as we've been sitting here talking and I thought about it, and I was like, no, I actually really enjoyed a lot of what happened tonight. Again, I've gotten a really bad habit lately of when wrestling's on, I've tried to do a couple other things. I'll cook. I've been cooking a lot. I'm doing meal prep because I'm fat and I'm losing a lot of weight. 25 pounds in 3 weeks, which is really unhealthy, but I feel better. And then I'll paint Warhammer miniatures. I'll do something else while I'm watching. So I got distracted through a lot of tonight. And I had to kind of rewind it several times to see what was going on. But I think I'm going to give it a win.
I can give it a win. I enjoyed pretty much every. Oh, there's a few things I didn't enjoy, but comparing that to Raw, like if I give Raw a loss, I just have to give this a win because they are complete opposites. So that people watching this show go, "Holy shit! If SmackDown's that much better than Raw, next week I'll have to check SmackDown out." And then hopefully they don't watch the Raw and they watch the SmackDown. And the thing is, Raw this week got a 2.4 million viewers. Okay, a 1.88 rating. 1.88. That I can't remember the last time it's been below 2. 2.0 rating. That's a joke. So 2.4 million views on average. SmackDown last week got, I think, a 2.3 or a 2.4. So considering this is a post pay-per-view SmackDown could actually beat Raw on the viewership this week. I fucking hope so. Oh, they deserve it because
it's like it's going back and forth. Because last week I thought Raw was the better show and SmackDown was weaker. And it's literally flip flopped every single week since the brand split for me.
So do you reckon this happens? So do you reckon they... Oh, God, break my arm there. As they get their feedback, so that they do Raw and SmackDown, and then they're like, oh, Raw's amazing this week. So then they're thinking, oh, Raw's amazing, guys. You don't need to put effort in. We'll put effort into SmackDown this week. And then next week when they find out, it's like, oh, everyone enjoyed SmackDown. They didn't enjoy Raw. We got to put effort into Raw this week. Maybe they're doing that because they're that idiotic and can't do 2 shows at once. But anyway, SmackDown Live. You have AJ Styles come out. AJ brags about his win at Backlash and how he is the champ that runs the camp. I find that funny.
I did too.
And dude, this guy's promos have improved so much. Like I remember laughing at his promos. in TNA. Absolutely laughing at them. He's really improved. Big Match John comes out. Pretty loud ovation for Cena and AJ stare down. Cena wants the World Championship in his 16th World title run. Ambrose comes off, pissed off that AJ cheated to win.
And
Cena
nobody
basically
cared.
Yeah, no one cares. Cena stops Ambrose and said Stone Cold was right, and the low blow didn't hurt.
That was fucking awesome. Didn't mean to cut you off. I fucking loved that he brought up Stone Cold was right. Because have you seen the Stone Cold Ambrose podcast?
Yeah.
He crawled his ass. He crawled his ass, and he deserved it. And honestly, ever since that podcast, Ambrose has gotten a little bit better. He's trying as hard. He's not resting on a lot of his laurels in that he's not using the same moves. He's still using a lot of the same moves over and over and over and over and over. And lol, Ambrose wins. So I really love that Cena was like, yeah, you're just a punk-ass bitch, and Stone Cold was fucking right about you. Which is also good from a marketing standpoint because that's going to make everyone go, oh, shit, what the hell is he talking about? Let me go watch for this. Thought it was brilliant.
I agree. Back to low blow. Didn't hurt because he's proven he has no balls. I thought that was funny. Ambrose then calls Cena a lazy part-timer.
Oh, shit.
I like that. Shane O'Mac comes out. Shane makes Cena versus AJ versus Ambrose at No Mercy.
Which, again, what the fuck did Cena do to earn this? Hell, I'd give it an off 6. Realistically, from a storytelling point of view, it should have went to anybody else. Why does Cena get a shot? AJ already beat him clean. Completely clean. Ambrose, he's got a rematch clause, and fucking he lost, or AJ beat him dirty. Okay, so Dean absolutely has a shot. What the fuck did Cena do to get a shot other than he's John Cena?
I was genuinely expecting when Shane come out, Ambrose Cena, #1 contenders match main event. That's what my mind was saying. Okay, cool. That sounds like a good match. But maybe they're going to... I reckon they'll have AJ go over, but then they're going to have Cena and Ambrose in a program come Survivor Series. Maybe. I wouldn't mind that.
Match. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it so awful much.
Could be worse. I really did enjoy that, though. I did enjoy it. And the thread for the show, we had a thread. AJ Styles, who's his partner going to be? Ambrose and Cena, we've seen the tension. They've got to team up. AJ and his partner all show after every match. We went to a backstage segment with AJ looking for a partner, reminding you, oh, fuck yeah, we have a main event tag team match because I've just seen AJ look. I'm interested in who AJ's partner is going to be. I want to know, and how will I know? I have to stay and watch the full show.
Yeah. Storytelling,
Simple
who would have
as
thought it?
We just put that over, okay? And the height... the VIP for this match was Mike Yoda. I think he did an excellent job. Hype Bros versus the Usos. I refused to watch the match at Backlash, which I paid for to watch. There is no way I'm watching this. I
didn't watch it.
I think the Usos won because I heard their theme music in the background. So either they won or the Usos took them out after the match and then celebrated. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter. So we'll just move on.
It really does. I was genuinely finishing my pot roast, which is maybe the most Caucasian thing I've ever seen or said in my entire life. But I was finishing my pot roast when this was happening, and I did not pay attention.
I wish you had a live webcam for that. I think that'd have been more enjoyable to watch. Miz and Maurice come out. Miz cuts a promo putting over his win against Ziggler. Ziggler comes out, says Miz will never be seen as a top guy. Ziggler wants one more match with no managers, just one-on-one, and he starts shouting like he always does. Brian comes out, Miz runs away, and then it cuts. It just cuts to a backstage segment with AJ. I thought it was a really weird transition.
It was really sloppy, and you could have done a little more storytelling there. So I'm going to pick it. They had some great storytelling. This wasn't one of them. As the authority figure, you're making D-Bry look weak, which isn't smart. That isn't smart to me. Your authority figure has to have authority. As he's walking away, if I'm D-Bry, I go, fine, by all means. If you want to, blockade us and you want to pick it, that's cool. Give me the belt. You have to forfeit it if you want to renegotiate your contract. That forces him back into the ring. You can, there's something you could have done there. And I'm not above them having one more match. And Miz might be better right now than he has ever been before. And I've been a Miz fan for a little while now. He's so good at making me not like him, and we're going to get into more of that later on in the show. But it was real sloppy. There was a lot more storytelling they could have done here. They just kind of left it all on the table.
I liked it. I liked his Miz promo. I thought, how many times do I have to sit through a Ziggler Miz match? Literally, I hope someone out there has done a count on how many times Ziggler and Miz have wrestled. If you included house shows, I reckon you'd be in the thousands easily.
Well, probably.
It's insane. Backstage of AJ, he asks Corbin if he wants to be his partner. Corbin declines, saying the only thing he wants from AJ is his championship.
Fucking Corbin is so stiff. I don't mind the guy, but he's stiff.
I didn't like this, but it got the thread going.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like the heel versus heel. They should help each other out because they're in the same kind of group. But I like the fact that they're, hey, look, who is AJ's tag partner? You're going to have to find out how by staying till the end of the show. They're trying to keep you there because they want you to see the main event. That led to Baron Corbin versus it didn't really happen. Corbin just attacked Bruce for the bell. Corbin hits the end of days. You right?
Yeah, I got a new tattoo today, and I accidentally just slapped it because I forgot it was there.
I saw that on the Facebook. That looked nasty.
Yeah, and it's healing up. I literally just got it done, so it's just gonna be red for a little bit. But I just slapped it because I wasn't paying attention, and it hurt real bad. We're good to go.
So should probably know what hurt real bad as well. Corbin hitting the end of days on the floor.
Yeah,
dude, that was nasty. But Cruz looked pissed off when he came out. I don't know if he was legit pissed off at the back or if he's like, "Why the fuck am I being taken out now? Like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I here?"
If I'm Cruz, I'm pissed. You've lost to Baron Corbin 3 times now. Once in NXT, twice here. And clearly this company has nothing for you. Part of that, I'd say a good chunk of that, is your fault for refusing to evolve your character or make your character something special. But you do got to pick up on, and maybe he's not fighting backstage for what he needs, but which is really depressing, but he is on a fast track to nowhere.
I reckon he's going to get Damien Sandow soon.
It'd probably be the best thing for him.
But let's go back to the Indies. No time. Swagger comes out. Because remember on Raw, as we just touched on, Swag's contract was expiring. So Swagger announced he cut the weirdest promo like I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Like, I love this show, but he cut one of the weirdest, strangest, most peculiar promos I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And I've seen some pretty weird shit.
It's odd.
He come out trying to be a hippie, and he had his hat on backwards. And he's doing all this, and he's like trying to rhyme his words, and like he was trying to rap, but then he wasn't trying to rap. And then he just like says SmackDown after 12:01 a.m. SmackDown Live's my new home, and then says we are gonna have a big problem. We the people. So he went back to his We the People stuff, but he came out dressed as a gangster. You know, with his hat. I was just confused. Like, are we doing a different character? Is he still the All American?
I think just something over here. He wasn't really going for like a rap thug thing. I think they were going for just that casual blue collar kind of look for him because that's part of his whole gimmick. I can see where that could get confused, but at the end of the day, again, this whole thing. I'm not gonna say it was bad. It was just fucking weird.
I have no issue with Swagger. I like Swagger a lot. I've never seen him great. Yeah, I've never seen him have a bad match. His promo works a bit, meh. He doesn't really have much of a character, but at least they're giving him time and something to do. I mean, I wouldn't mind, a Swagger Corbin feud, at No Mercy. It'll do the job. Do what the doctor ordered. Not too bad. Then we have Shane McMahon. He comes out. He puts over Heath Slater. Slater and Rhino come out. They're tag champs. Slater signs the contract. Talks about his family. The Ascension come out. They say they want a tag title shot now. Shane just agrees, says, "Oi, dickheads, get the shit out of the ring. We'll get a commercial. When we come back, we have a tag title match." Short. Go on.
It was what it was. Like, I have pretty much nothing to comment on this. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, I thought this was the weakest part of the show, and we talked about how awesome the Slater Rhino was at the Backlash event just a couple of days prior. So I was kind of upset. I think they could have done a lot more.
Yeah, I feel like they were rushed here, and that was part of the problem. Or they didn't have a good enough outline for their promos going out there because they could have done a lot more humor here, then built up to, Heath Slater or Rhino got the victory. Let's be honest here. But I think maybe they just ran out of time. That is my theory, but maybe I'm wrong. It was probably my least favorite part too.
We had a tag title match with Ascension challenging again for no reason. It was short and kind of sweet, I guess. Rhino got the win with a gore. I didn't care about this because I don't care about the Ascension, and why should I? They've given me no reason to. And just having a tag title match just devalues the tag titles. Just like the fact that your first title defense is against the Ascension. Like, how worthless is that? Like, when was the last time the Ascension got a win on TV? I reckon even if you included Superstars and main event, it's been a very, 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 very long time since the Ascension got a win.
Has to be.
We go backstage. AJ's looking for a partner. He goes to. Have I missed out the Kane one? I think I missed out. There was a Kane one which I thought was really funny. He tries to kiss. Yeah, it was before the last match. He tries to kiss Kane's ass, and then Kane just laughs at him and walks off. This time he looks a bit upset because he couldn't find a partner, and then Brian basically comes up and says, "James Ellsworth is your partner." He calls him James. He goes, "I found your partner."
I popped so hard for this. I was so genuinely excited.
It was funny.
I was so happy. It was really funny.
Randy Orton comes out. I love his jacket that he wears. I liked his shirt he wears. I liked his shoes. I liked his arms. I liked his I like everything, because if you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you get Randy Orton. That line will never get old. I will die, and on my gravestone it will say, "If you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you'll get ... Randy Orton." He got a really good reaction. He got a thunderous ovation from a Philadelphia crowd. So that shocked me. I
this
thought,
was a really tame Philly crowd, by the way.
I think it's going to take time to forget the SmackDown Live kind of brand itself, because if people bought these tickets a few months ago, they wouldn't have known that the brand extension was happening. So if they kind of pre-booked, they might have been family. So I reckon in a few months' time, the crowds will equal out a little bit. Yeah, because this time, like a year ago, I wouldn't have gone to a SmackDown TV taping.
I think almost a year ago to the day I went to a SmackDown taping.
Yeah. No, mine would have been. Yeah, mine's the year in November. but I haven't been to the last time I went to a SmackDown TV team was 2 years ago.
Oof.
And considering they come over twice, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, as I said, he comes out. Orton wants a fight with Wyatt. Bray appears on the Tron, cutting a cryptic promo on Orton about, how he should have stayed down and that he shouldn't ever sleep. Lights come back on, and then Bray Wyatt stood behind Orton. Lights go out again as they come back on. Eric Rowan's in the ring. Eric Rowan beats on Orton. Then Orton hits the RKO on Rowan as Bray's fucked off. I didn't mind this. It kind of buried. I mean, I love Randy Orton more than a straight man should, but it buried Eric Rowan. And it buried him hard.
Nobody's been buried more than Eric Rowan. Has anybody been defeated more than Eric Rowan? Like, I'm willing to bet he's lost more times than Heath Slater.
What about the Ascension?
Oh, I think Eric Rowan might still have him. Eric Rowan at least has the fucking
wins with the 6-man tags.
Yeah,
he has the
wins with those. And that he at least got to lose at WrestleMania and a couple other places, whereas the Ascension are losing to like superstores. But goddamn, that guy loses a lot.
He does. It's uncomfortable watching how much he loses. But
really
Eric Rowan is one of those guys that I don't have an opinion on. Like, I don't hate the guy.
Like, I don't have a good one. I don't have a bad one. He's just a warm body.
Yeah. AJ Styles and sadly not James Ellsworth versus Cena and Ambrose. Miz comes out, skull crushing finales James on the ramp, and he basically says, "Look, I'm the main event, so I'm going to be your tag partner, AJ." And AJ's like, "Fuck it, why not?"
This was legit brilliant. This was absolutely brilliant because even me, as a smart fan, was so legit pissed off at the Miz when he took out James Ellsworth. And that is because, again, he's become an internet darling. So even your smart fans are going to know, okay, I need to dislike him now because he did this. And then your casual fans that fell in love with that guy are like, it is such a great way to put nuclear heat on the Miz. And I was legit pissed the fuck off I didn't get to see James Ellsworth wrestle.
This is going to lead to James Ellsworth versus the Miz at the pay-per-view, and I swear to God, James Ellsworth will win that IC title. It'll be like Santino Marella. It'll be sorry, there's a break fucking mic there. I will be like Santino Marella.
I swear to God, there's a standing rule in my house, and this is why you never want to watch a pay-per-view with me. And I have a bunch of friends, or I have a couple friends that come over for all the pay-per-views, and then the big pay-per-views, I have a lot of people over. WrestleMania this last year, I think I had 18 people. Yeah, I had a lot. The standard rule is, though, and I warn everybody, it's like, if you're watching wrestling with me and you hear glass break, run. And I don't know where this started, but and I'm going to add James Ellsworth getting the belt on this list. If Stone Cold ever comes out during a pay-per-view, I'm getting naked. It's just going to happen. And it happened at WrestleMania, and there was 2 or 3 people there that didn't know me, and I had to pause it beforehand and go, listen, this is going to happen, and I'm not going to stop. And so if James Ellsworth beats The Miz, I will get naked. I promise you.
Do you remember that webcam story? That we'll just pretend webcam never happened.
That'll get stripped from the records.
Oh, God. No issue with Miz being in the main event, so I like it. I thought, like you said, it got nuclear heat on Miz. I really, really enjoyed this. Ambrose refuses to make the tag a few times to Cena. I kind of liked little bits of storytelling like that. And then when he finally did, Cena cleared house. Ambrose took out AJ with that dive that's so bad. Like, anyone can do that. I don't understand why people the size of Ambrose are doing that. There's just no... Like, when Samoa Joe does it, you're like, holy shit, because it looks good. When
like
Ambrose
getting drop-kicked by a Scud missile.
Yeah, when Ambrose does, you're like, oh, okay, and then he's a lunatic. I mean, he just did a dive.
He does nothing with his... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but this is one of my biggest problems with Dean Ambrose. He does nothing within his wrestling style to make him the lunatic fringe. Nothing. And that is one of my biggest problems with him.
He's just a guy who wears jeans, and every now and then just kind of goes like that, or scratches himself, or just opens his eyes a bit wider than everyone else. That's all he is. It's like he has such a big following with the women. With the men, it's kind of like, okay, like,
I think a lot of friends like him because they feel like they need to like him. And I know a lot of guys that are hardcore wrestling fans like us that like him. But I think it's done. It's like, okay, well, guys, I don't like Roman Reigns. I don't like Seth Rollins. This guy's from the Indies. I guess I need to like him.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit here, I think Ambrose is shit, and I don't particularly, minus Randy Orton, minus Big Match John, I don't particularly enjoy the sports entertainment style. So I don't like Enzo and Cass. I think they're entertaining. I just don't like them, which is why I didn't want to talk about them earlier on in the Raw review, because I knew that the amount of heat I would have got in the comment section would have just been ludicrous. So I saved your fingers. So in the end of the day, I just don't care about Amber. Like when he comes out, like you hear a little pop. It's like Nikki Bella. When Nikki Bella comes out, you hear that little children's pop, and then it's kind of okay. That's not really a pop, is it? I don't classify that as
really big pops there for a little while, and I think finally, maybe the gospel of Sammy is getting to the point where people realize, like, okay, it really isn't what he's cracked up to be.
He never has been.
No,
I thought, actually, that's a lie. At the start of the Shield, I thought he was pretty good. Like he was like on edge all the time. I thought he was okay at the start of the Shield, but as it got grew, and once he changed, the only thing different about him is he doesn't wear wrestling gear. That's literally it. If he wore wrestling gear, you wouldn't tell the difference between him and the fucking Miz
at all.
Actually, that's a lie. Miz has dimensions to his character. That's a lie. I do apologize. I don't want to offend you, Miz. But Cena gets the win. I didn't like the fact it was on the Miz, but I'd rather Miz than AJ take it because it's just common sense.
Storytelling kept AJ strong.
Yeah, it's got to be done. Ambrose then hits the dirty deeds on Cena. I mean, is that a heel turn? Because
I think what they're going for here is this. And it's good storytelling. I just personally don't like the story. I don't think they're trying to make him a heel. I think they're trying to push him in a Stone Cold direction where he's like tweener. I also stand by the fact that I, honest to God, think Stone Cold Steve Austin is the only tweener that's ever been in WWE or in wrestling. No one has been able to do it the way that he does. But I think they're trying to do that where he has no friends. He doesn't need any friends. He'll beat up anybody. He doesn't care. And I think that's the story they're going for, and that's a decent story you could tell with Dean Ambrose and his character. I just don't like it.
No. I've literally got there. The character worked better as a tweener. But I feel this is what they should have done with Reigns. If this was Reigns and they did this, where, you know what, he doesn't need friends, he doesn't want friends. You know what, if you don't like me, if you really don't like me, boo me all you want. If you like me, cheer me on, buy my merch. If you don't like me, go fuck yourself, because I don't care. And they started doing this with the I'm not a bad guy, I'm not a good guy, I'm the guy. They started to go down that road, but then they just stopped it, and then they just went back to him being Superman again. I think
I think a lot of that was him getting suspended.
Yeah. If he didn't get suspended and we just kept going down that road, I wasn't getting as mad when I was seeing on my TV set. And it was just okay, it makes sense. He's getting booed. Like, Cena should have done this about 7 years ago. But they do it with the wrong people. Like Ambrose, even though we don't like him, there is still lots of people who do. And when he does come out, he doesn't get booed like Reigns does.
No.
So they should have done this with Reigns, and they started to, but then they dropped it because everyone was just going mad about it. Which, when I look back on, I wish I didn't. But as you mentioned, Austin, I think this character could work well if it's stuck to, because I don't want next week come out and then, Ambrose comes up with excuses, and let's just hope they stick with this tweener. Let's see where it goes, and who knows, this time next year we might love the guy.
We'll see.
But he needs to change. He needs to change because he reminds me, and this is one of the biggest insults you can get, he reminds me of the Usos. I just have zero interest. If I don't watch the match, I don't care. I don't want to watch him. I don't want to pay to watch him. If he's on a show, I think the show is worthless. Him, the 5 people I hate in this world: Zack Ryder, Mojo Rawley, the Usos because they count for 1, Enzo and Cass because they count for 1, and Dean Ambrose. They're the 5 people I hate in the wrestling world. I can't stand. Awful, awful, awful. But they all could improve. I thought the Usos heel turn might have helped, but it makes me hate them even more. I'm even more uninterested. They remind me of the Bashams. I just don't care. Like, they're okay hands in the ring. I just don't care.
Yeah, I just don't give a damn, which is, to me, a bigger insult you could give to somebody that's a wrestler than I don't like you. Because I still stand by the fact that all a good heel has to do is it has to be somebody you want to see them get their ass kicked. Even if it's like, oh, I don't like his style, and I don't like this. Like, you still dislike the guy, so clearly he's doing his job somewhere. But if I go, I just don't care, that's a huge insult because you're not even interesting enough to give a damn about.
Yeah, that is the worst. Like, if I look at a guy and I'm like, okay, I don't care, I'm like, you deserve to be buried on there. Right, we'll get to some live comments as we finish the show. We'll finish reviewing the shows anyway. We have Edward Mohan. He's back again after the Backlash review. Thanks for joining us again. You have the Shield reunion is coming. I don't think it will.
They're on different shows.
Yeah, it'll be very difficult. Tonight it looked like Cena
Ambrose. A Shield reform with different people. And Seth Rollins at its head. And that could probably work if you went, I'm at the best when I'm architect. I can't build anything if I have nothing to build with. Let me go get some instruments to build with, and then throw some people with Seth Rollins as the new Shield and have it be a faction, not just a trio. And I think it'd be over like fucking hotcakes. That just came off the top of my head.
As long as it's not ran like the Shield. As long as it's not ran like the Shield, I'll have no issue with that. Mm-hmm. No issue with that.
Like I said, run it like a faction, not like the Shield.
Agreed. Edward Moran again puts, tonight it looked like Cena and Ambrose were shooting on each other. Yeah, that's... Even though we disrespected Ambrose's in-ring work, which we don't tend to do here, but because it was so boring and because this match has been so dull, minus his one with AJ on Sunday, we never disrespect the talents in-ring. But when we weren't really disrespecting his in-ring, we were just saying it's really boring. Mm-hmm. You know, we weren't disrespecting. We weren't saying, oh yeah, he should do this differently. We're not saying we're experts and this is what moves he should do. We're just saying what our opinion is, and that's he's boring. So don't get the wrong idea. But I did enjoy the opening promo he did because it did feel like him and Cena had legit heat and they were shooting on each other, as he pointed out there.
I think Cena, like, even if they weren't shooting on each other, I think Cena might have shook Ambrose up a little bit because he took a long time to retort. And I have never hated on Ambrose's mic skills. I always thought his mic skills were pretty damn good, if not superb. But I think saying that he agreed with Stone Cold, I think that might have frazzled him a little bit.
Might have done. I think that's the best when they're not heavy script and they can just go out there and just shoot. Mm-hmm. Where are we? We've got Takir Moton. I'm so sorry if I slaughtered your name. I really do apologize. He has a question for you, Sammy. It's what Warhammer army you paint/play, and congrats on the weight loss.
Well, thank you on the weight loss. I figured I want to be here for my kid in 20 years. Hopefully, if he gets married, so. Lost a lot of weight, but I play a lot of different armies. In fantasy, I have about 10,000 points of undead, all painted, which is that is an outrageously large number. I probably have about $4,000 worth of models just in that army. I have 400 zombies, and then I have a couple dwarves, but I play dwarves in Mordheim, so I just have a small warband, but I have enough models to switch my warband as I need. And 40k, I have Blood Angels and Space Wolves, and that's it. Because anything that's not in the Imperium of Man, I don't give a damn about. I love Space Marines. Call me a cop-out. Space Marines are the best. Space Wolves are my favorite chapter. Blood Angels are my favorite to play. And I don't have a lot of points either. Maybe 1850.
I understood no words that came out of your mouth.
I saw it. Like, I saw you down in the corner, and I just saw your brain go... and have no idea what I was talking about.
What nerdy I play? The nerdy thing I'm into at the moment, I'm playing League of Legends. And there's like
friends that are really into that.
At work, we've got our own little what they call like clans or ranked teams they're called. We've got little ranked teams going on. So I wish during Raw I could have been playing that. Yeah. So when I'm watching Raw, I'm even more angry because I could be playing League of Legends. So if anyone has a League of Legends person who they want to have, how about this? Put that in the comment section. I'll add you, and you can play a game with me. How about that as a fucking bombshell? Takir Motem, the one who I slaughtered, he said, it's all good, LK. Latin is a pain in the ass to pronounce. Okay, cool. I'm not in the doghouse. We're going to last live comment, and then we're going to hit the rack.
Yeah, I do got a couple comments I want to make.
This is about the Warhammer gimmick, right? Nice. Undead and dwarves are my preferred in fantasy. 40k is a home brew marine chapter and orcs.
That's cool. Like, a lot of people really hate on homebrew chapters. Like, I have some friends that you have to make your army by the codex, buy the fluff, and that's the only way you can do it. In any other chapter you make it stupid. I have no problem with making your own chapter. The world is so vast and like so quite literally trillions of planets big that there's no reason you can't make your own chapter. So now that I'm speaking English again to LK, and he's maybe once back in on the liver. A couple last things I want to throw out here before we kind of call it a night. It is getting back into American football season. And as y'all know, as you can tell, I'm a huge New York Giants fan, and this is KocoSports, not specifically Koco Wrestling, even though that's 99.9% of what we talk about. If me doing a Sunday or maybe a Monday night, no, it can be Monday night, Sunday night wrestling show or football show, and just talking about the games that day would be something y'all are into, let me know, because I really love football. I'd like to talk a little more football and maybe mix it up on here a little bit and not have just wrestling. The last thing, next Tuesday, I am actually going to SmackDown Live with my niece, and this is her first ever wrestling event and her first ever live event. So she's super duper excited. We'll probably come home, and if all goes well and she's actually still awake and up for it, I'll probably have a special guest, if anybody wants to join me on one of our reviews, and I'll have my niece jump on here with me and let her, because she's so new to it. She's brand new, and maybe we can all kind of feel that magic again out of her, and I'll keep it family friendly since my niece is going to be here. But y'all can look forward to that.
No live comments from these people. Jeez. No, that's what I like about these people. Like, minus like Ricky Krajewski, because he's an imbecile. Minus those people. And I only shout him out because then he leaves comments, and when he leaves comments, it actually helps. But anyway, I would never worry. Like, I'd never worry about bringing anyone on because no one is a dick in the comments. It's literally just everyone just asks questions. They're saying thank you for this, or they say well done on that. Like, they're generally nice people. It gives me a little bit of hope that humanitarians are actually we're growing back. There is some nice people out there. So shout out to everyone watching and not being an imbecile. Like that guy, I mispronounced his name. You know, if that was any other show, you're a fucking idiot for getting my name wrong. Who the fuck do you think you are, or Mr. Big Shot? He said it's cool. I understand it's a difficult language. So thank you for that.
We have some pretty cool fans.
We do, and thank you very much for it. Thank you very much for the support. Speaking of support, buy Dave Koco's book if you want Mr. Dave Koco's back on the show a lot more. Buy his book, links in the description box below. Check out all our content that we've done last week. We previewed every Backlash show. We did a Backlash review. We reviewed last week's Raw. Sammy did Lucha Underground. We done NXT. We done CWC. Lots of shit going down. Tomorrow there'll be an NXT review from Booms, as I'll be doing a CWC review. So whichever one you want to do, Sammy,
I'll knock out Lucha.
If you knock out Lucha, I'll knock out CWC, and then Booms does NXT. We've covered the whole lot in a day. So cool. that's got to be done. That's cool. Making progress here. So like, comment, subscribe if you want more action. And if you just like watching live, which I know a lot of you do, if you hit near the subscription button, there's like a little bell. If you click that, you'll get a vibration whenever we're going live. So that's the best way to know when we're going live, because I know our schedule. Sometimes we do it live after, sometimes we don't, because we have real lives, sadly. But that being said, from Sammy, from myself, LK, stay safe, stay well, because it's a fucked up world out there. But more importantly, we'll be catching your asses down the line.